amazingly, the stream still managed to crash, even though
it wasn't streaming.
We weren't even streaming. It's truly a day of days here.
Do we need an OBS alternative?
No, I don't want one.
OBS is fine.
I want OBS to fucking work.
It's Arthur. Arthur's got something funky on his scenes.
But I don't.
This is the only show you actually stream. Everything else is either recorded or, recorded and uploaded later. Well, that one you don't have to have so many open instances of the same window open. You just have, farming simulator. I don't know.
Just play Roll20.
All right, yeah, Roll20. That sounds good.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things I blame Roll20 for, but not that. Not that. All right, what are we doing here?
Okay. So you take this group through to a meeting room, presumably. The probably both Morn's and Eggle's hangers on wait outside, except for the other female elder. She also comes in as well. So it's just that the 4 of you and the 3 of them in the room.
Let me ask you a question, James. How big of a problem would it be for me to start reading the minds of our erstwhile allies? I guess I could call it.
Depends on when you want to start with, I guess.
So, you know what? Let's say the pirate guy.
Okay.
He seems the least likely to have prepared defenses. You know what I mean? What's he gonna do? Have an entire box built by the Adeptus Mechanicus that will start beeping when I...
All right, so give me a roll. I was just going to use willpower.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. What's the one that's focused? Fettered.
Fettered, yeah, so it's wow, he actually gets 3 degrees. But I'm sure you can beat that. Yes.
Okay, let's check the number real quick. Oh, it doesn't matter because I did it fettered, and it was a 14 anyway.
That's fine. Yep.
Yep. Just gonna hold it on him for a while.
Yep. Okay. So look, I'm not going to go through the steps. I'll give you the general vibe of his service thought. So, look, he's definitely a man who's out for himself. He's not here to screw you over until it becomes profitable, basically. And if there is some opportunity to. He's not looking for the opportunity to screw her, but if something did come along, he'll happily, throw you guys to the wolves if it means he makes money from it.
And there's no pre-existing agreement with Selene Morin to screw us over at a predetermined time.
Exactly right. So as far as he's concerned, he's just here for extra muscle. In that
he is a Hazaroth class raider. I mean, muscle is a real stretch, but okay.
So I mean, for what he knows, a straight up ship assault against Nexus Shadows won't work. They need people that are unknown there to go in and do stuff first, and then once that's done, Selene's fleet plus his ship plus whatever you brought will come in and bomb the site from orbit. Anyway,
telling me, James, is that we're the 5th column.
So look, he has no compulsions towards your crew, other than the fact he's probably heard that you have a living saint, and so he's a bit worried about
his living soul being condemned.
He's definitely a pirate who definitely traffics with Xenos. He's a bit unsure about why a ship that travels with a living saint will choose to enter this sort of bargain, but apparently they have, and apparently you come well recommended. So he's going along with it.
All right. In keeping with my policy of having all of our allies be uncomfortable and knocked off of their pedestals before we start negotiating, I'm going to, with my IV, keep pace with Master Eggle and get jovial with him and Master Eggle. Captain Eggle?
Captain is fine, yes. And you are?
Androchiron.
Is there a short version?
Androchiron is the short version. You can go with Andrew. That's what the audience has decided my name actually is. Are you a religious man, sir? I don't know if you know this, but we have several very skilled counselors on board. It may have been some time since you have confessed your sins and received a cleansing. We have a specialist in cleansing on board, actually. One who can scour even the darkest deeds, blackest hearts.
Well, as much as I'd love to stop and confess my sins, we're on something of a time frame here, and I haven't got all the time it would take to put words to the messes that I've made so far. But you know, a life lived without regrets is a life well lived, so they say. He goes to give you like a hearty pat on the back, which will probably like knock you off your feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna overplay it too. Like I'm even more physically weak than I appear to be, because I actually have a fairly good strength score, and some of what Androchiron does is in fact a sort of deception.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but some of it. So, but he
you've got the cyberpunk redundancy loop, Chip.
Yes, I always lose at golf, James. That's just how it is.
Are you trying to intimidate him, or
I don't know that intimidate's the word, certainly because I don't have the intimidate skill in any appreciable fashion like Nero. Instead, I feel like it's the opening chapter of a mind game, is what I would say. I don't know that there's a role that needs to be here. I just want him to be a little uncomfortable.
Okay. All right. Okay. I mean, he's
distracted.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have any shame, so to speak. So, like, he's the existential threat he perceives. I mean,
he's trucking with Dark Eldar. I assumed he was a filthy, soulless man slut. So,
yeah. The existential threat he feels from Dawn is more a fear of getting caught rather than a fear of his immortal soul.
Good.
So,
I definitely want him to continue fearing Dawn. I feel like fearing Dawn is a healthy thing. Yeah. Androchiron fears Dawn, so, you know.
Haven't done a good soul flaying in a while.
Yeah,
so,
I know. I was trying to invite this guy to one. I am going to pass him a free of cost novelty captain bag on the way into the meeting with the traditional bottles of Renka, but also it has a nice Dawn Leteinia keychain bauble that can be attached to any standard Imperial weaponry.
For a limited time, it's free of heresy until Dawn sees it, right? Like...
So once you're all, in a room, Selene introduces the other one with her. This is Cythera Ayeshe. She's one of my closest allies, and when I take my leave today, I would like her, with your permission, to stay behind as a cultural attaché, so to speak. You will need help with our ways and our culture, and I think that Cythera could assist you.
Allow me to understand the mission here, and I'm going to push a basket of Renka over to her and say, you want us to sneak into one of the most heavily defended Dark Eldar ports, intimate ourselves...
She pops a cork from the Renka and starts drinking from the bottle.
Of course. I mean, several members of our crew would also do that. You want us to intimate ourselves into the port defense facilities and disable them to allow you to come in and overthrow the government, correct?
Mostly correct. Sorry.
And anyone with a connection with you would endanger our mission, also correct?
It's not that simple. But once again, there is some truth in the drivel that you spat, yes.
Have you ever seen the old Terran TV show, The West Wing? There is an episode called Let Bartlett Be Bartlett. We have successfully intimated ourselves into the highest and lowest levels of society of several worlds. And while I'm sure that your filthy, soulless, torturing hearts are slightly different than good, clean,
The ones
imperial
in the background
citizens,
just nodding every time he like insults him. He's just like,
I
"Yep,
think you should
that's- yep."
recognize that making friends is somehow, catastrophically, this crew's primary objective. And that a cultural attaché may, in fact, endanger the mission. But again, mostly, I'm just trying to piss her off because I fucking hate her, and I feel like we really should not be doing this mission.
Captain
I mean,
Cowles,
just looking
am
at
I
her is
to
painful
understand-
for me.
Am I to understand that you have a voice and that you will negotiate on your own behalf?
I understand what they're getting at, and of course, I understand what they're saying is as fact as she's connected to you, which they obviously don't like you. And having her with us would cause problems, but if you so believe that that wouldn't be the case, I can take her with me. But the other thing is, we're supposed to sneak onto there. Why do we need a cultural attaché unless we're planning to mingle as much as possible?
Yes. Well, allow me to explain a little bit about what we're trying to do here. So, Zegar Kul and I used to be partners. We founded the Nexus of Shadows. We built this place up from what it was. And then Kul betrayed me, drove me and my followers from the city. And I mean to take it back. However, the Nexus receives a lot of its strength from an alien ship known as the Soul Reaver, which is built into the superstructure of the Nexus itself. We found it there when we first arrived, but Kul was able to get it operational. And a lot of his perceived power comes from his control over the Soul Reaver. I mean to kill Kul, claim the Soul Reaver, and therefore claim the Nexus. The issue is that the city has death spires, anti-ship weaponry that would tear apart even the largest fleet. Now, when you say sneak onto the Nexus, you don't need to sneak anywhere. You're an unknown here. Humans can come and trade in the Nexus. You know, you have a ship, you have wealth, you have notoriety. You would be able to enter the Nexus and conduct whatever business you feel is appropriate. What I need is while you're doing that, for you to find a way to deactivate the Death Spires and get control of the Soul Reaver. Both of those things would be within Zegar Kul's ziggurat. How you get into the ziggurat is up to you. I've got a few things I could suggest to you. Now, Zathira here is believed to be a member of Kul's court. She has joined his cabal, but she secretly serves me. So she would not be perceived on the Nexus as an agent of mine. She serves the cabal of the Splintered Talon as far as anybody on the Nexus is concerned.
And you're claiming that we can fully trust her in case she doesn't try to be the rare scenario of a triple agent?
I'm not asking you to trust anybody. I'm asking you to make up your own opinion. If you think that she has betrayed you, then if you can, then kill her, because she is here to do something for me. And if she's working against you, she's working against me.
Excellent. Then I'll let her accompany us for now, then, while we try to look around, see what we can find.
What if she agreed to a mind scan, Captain?
Can you mind scan them? They don't have... Actually, can you see them?
I'm gonna nod. I'm gonna make a distasteful face that makes it seem as if looking at them is like looking at rotten, filthy garbage.
At this point, Zathira speaks, and she turns to Androchiron. Will it be painful?
Only if you resist.
Now she's going to try to resist. I just
I
want you
know.
to know that.
I know. But Androchiron is on
Like
the rails
saying,
here.
don't swallow. You know, you're just going to
God,
swallow.
dude.
Don't ask that. Nice. From Pathfinder.
Or don't think about that little tendon that connects the bottom of your tongue to the bottom of your mouth, you know?
Okay. I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it real quick. You know,
Okay. There
think
is.
about that tendon. Actually, wow. You know? Oh, I mean, I'm gonna mind. You know, read her.
She resists just enough for you to cause pain, but tell you what you want to know.
Okay. Oh, well, that wasn't great, but no doubles.
Okay.
I mean, the question
Close.
is, does she bother resisting?
I mean, so if you tell her that resisting will cause her pain, she
course.
tries that a little bit.
Yeah,
Yes,
of
definitely.
course.
And look, most of her initial surface thoughts are she's imagining what each of you would look like with your skin removed. You know, wondering how loud each of you can scream. She bears so none of this is out of animosity. Okay, this is not like just outright hate. This is just like, I wonder. I'm curious. I've met these people before. I wonder how loudly they can scream. I wonder what their pain thresholds are, etc. Beyond that, I mean, so you pick. She does have loyalty towards Selene. So she has never actually been Kul's real servant. Like, it's not like she's been flipped. She'd always remain loyal to Selene. But also she's not very into Kul's inner circle either. She's as far as he's concerned, or as far as she's just a perfunctory in the lower. Like, she literally hasn't even been in the same room as Kul for probably over 4 years.
She's our Lando Calrissian. She'll be there. She will do nothing as part of the plan.
Yeah, like she can't just get you into the ziggurat.
Yeah.
But she can make introductions or the like, or at least excuse, like if you're walking through, she could say, oh, I'm taking these people somewhere because such and such told me to, but she has no real authority that she can use to make your job that much easier. It's just what she knows, or can introduce you to various people. She knows a lot of people around the Nexus itself.
All right. I'm just going to turn to the captain, and in whatever Imperial High Gothic, just openly, I'm just going to be like, she is a filthy, treasonous harlot who will betray us in a second under normal circumstances, but she is trustworthy for this mission.
How can you say that without her knowing that you're calling her a harlot?
I'm not. I want her to know that. We're speaking High Gothic.
Open.
Yeah, I'm just saying it in the open. I'm not. I'm attempting to piss off and bait these people on purpose. Again, Androchiron is literally disgusted by them, even beyond any Imperial brainwashing. Just looking at them hurts him because they are horrifying to gaze upon.
Andrew, I do believe that when you're insulting them, you're actually just complimenting them in a way.
Yes, I'm sure.
The emotional damage is also helpful.
She is mostly
Give me a
useless.
test, by the way, after 2.
Psyniscience, yes, because one or
Plus
both
10.
of them may... Oh, plus 10. Interesting. I will re-roll that. I rolled a 100, James. I rolled a one fucking 100. So I don't know that one or both of them are also powerful psychers.
Okay, you have just spent a fate point and don't know why.
Jesus Christ.
On top of the one you spent to re-roll, I mean.
Do you mean I've spent one or I've burned
not burned, just
Okay.
spent, just spent.
Oh,
And you don't know why.
great. Lovely. That's.
Do I know that anything happened? Like, or am I like,
So there is something untoward going on. You don't know what it is. There's something just feels vaguely off. You get an uneasy sense of wrongness.
Okay. I'm going to lean in towards the captain and in Rogue Trader speak indicate that they are using the warp against me somehow.
It's like kicking sand in a kid's face, and then they kick sand back at you, and then you're going and telling your mom that you got sand kicked in your face.
Can this is my knowledge, so I'm pretty sure Drukhari don't have
Psychers.
psychic powers.
Witches do, though, right?
No.
Am I
No,
wrong?
No Drukhari can use anything psychic. They have no
they don't-
connection to the warp.
because
Interesting.
they don't have souls, essentially. Any idea what could be the case that is souring my psyker's mood?
Well, it's something about Eggle, or it might be something that they have rather than something that they are or doing.
Fair enough. Okay.
I have forbidden lore, psychers, and warp. Is there any way I can get... Nah, he's failed Psyniscience. Never mind. All right.
All right.
I just look even more sourly towards everyone in the room. I hate all of them.
So it's essentially something that they have, not necessarily something that they can do, or something they can do with something they have.
The real question here, I think, is do we believe that this cultural attaché will have more value to us with us than with you?
I believe she could be of some value. I've come up with a sort of plan. A heist that might also be a crime heist, if you would.
The last
Right.
time, we're not buying another goat. We have too many of them as it is.
Do we have ghosts? What?
Have you not been down to Hangar 77?
I was
No.
gonna say, we almost certainly have some form of fresh food that just grazes on board on the pasture deck.
They're on the goat deck.
The goat deck. It's somewhere near the poop deck.
I'm discovering I need to look into my finances more thoroughly from this point, but
Look, Captain, you have 2 goats. They multiply. That's really all you need to know.
I understand.
Multiplicative goats.
Yes.
Look,
I mean,
when you start a fortress, you bring
what
2 cats
cows-
with you, okay?
Yeah.
2 cats. That's it. And then you have
What
food
do
for
cows
life.
eat?
Wow, listen to this dwarf
What do
fortress
cows eat?
player over
Yeah.
here.
So cows eat grass. Hard to grow grass in a spaceship. What do goats eat? Whatever you fucking feed them.
Fair enough.
Where do you think
Well,
we
so
put the
do
corpses,
pigs.
Captain?
those are the pigs, actually.
And what do you do with dead pigs? Give it to the goats.
There you go. So what is your
We're
decision?
really
Commodore?
using the whole pig.
Shall we bring this?
We can take her along. If anything, we know when she's about to betray us, we'll know, and dispose of her justly.
I was gonna say, well, no, when she's about to betray us, because it'll be literally any moment.
Yes.
Percy fears sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, that scene is for sure gonna happen.
So, I'm okay with whatever decision you make, Lord Captain. But every time that we take one step closer to finding Talon, it seems like we pick up stragglers or come across hurdles or road bumps or anything along the lines that
Yes.
seems
Yes.
to delay us. So, if she can help us get us there faster, I'm okay with it. But Xenos is Xenos.
Indeed. I know a little bit about Drukhari, though I don't know
Yeah.
all its intricacies, nor do I.
Oh, James
Sorry.
is rolling awareness for some reason.
So you pick up that, like, okay, so the 2 Eldar don't speak High Gothic. So if you're speaking in High Gothic, they don't understand what you're saying. But Morn does pick up on the proper noun of Talon. And you catch like that moment, sort of like, her eyebrow raises when she hears that name spoken by one of you, because obviously she has no
Right. It's
connection to it. Yeah.
like
It's
in
just
video
like
games where
the-
they have their own language, but they don't have the language.
Ah,
Right,
yes,
it's
unicorn.
It's hard.
A word
yeah,
that's the same in every language.
It's hard to change a proper noun, like somebody's
Right.
name, name, regardless of what language it's in. So
Yeah, yeah.
The Japanese kind of got that
I know,
underway.
yeah, no, it does happen too, certainly, but it's but in a lot of cases,
No, I
especially between
understand.
English and Latin.
Yeah, that's why I'm called Artorius. All right, so let me lay out my plan for the crime heist. There is one qualifying factor for this crime heist, right? We know that Talon Balewing is present on the station. This is where he's at,
Okay.
right?
Androchiron, I need to correct you.
No, this is out of character. As everything I'm saying right now is out of character.
Okay.
We know Talon Balewing is present on the station, right?
Yes.
So our mission is to save him. We also know that something has to happen because at the beginning of the season, James indicated that Dawn would be fighting Talon Balewing in like a blood pit sport. Correct?
That was at the end of the previous season.
Okay, but all right.
Technicalities aside.
Technicalities, contextually, we know that that has to happen. I propose a crime heist where we get this woman, Selena or whatever, to introduce us as the biggest, baddest, newest, like pirate gladiators. We stole a ship from the forces of chaos, etc., etc. And Dawn has come here in order to bring imperial justice to the arena as its new champion, right? So we
Yes, the living
include
saint has been
James as
degraded
part
to
of the storyline
gladiator.
in our plot. That way, James can't later be like, all right, well, Dawn is arrested and thrown into the pits. We make it part of the plot, and that way we're always moving directly towards the plot and no side questing where we have like 12 episodes of trying to get to talk to Zagar Cool's master, but then he's just like, oh, I don't know, guys, you failed to roll again, so I don't know, run another errand. We go in a straight line directly towards the arena. Okay, that's all I'm saying. This is my plan. We get this woman to be our hype man because that's the only value she has, is being like, oh, hey, I heard these guys were super badass. I'm just trying to use all of the plot elements to make a play. All right, it's no Phantom of the Opera, but
Is Androchiron going to be my R2D2 and shoot me out my sword?
I don't
what's
need to
happening
be.
here?
Can't you just literally magically create your weapon and armor around you?
I don't
What do you want me
think
to
so.
shoot towards you? A bottle of Renka?
Just the wings. Just the wings.
Just the wing.
Yeah.
I feel like shooting a bottle of Renka is a lot more useful, though.
One
Refreshing.
instrument in the hands of a living saint? Oh, yeah, no, I can make it work.
I'm just saying. Well, first off, you could bless the wine, of course. But number two, you need a refreshing drink after all the killing you're gonna do.
Yeah, I it's the silver spray that I spray on myself. That's my
So,
refreshing
Just to
drink.
reiterate, short-term bullet points. We go in as Pierre Cowles, the incredible badass pirate captain, suffering from success, looking for shore leave. He's got this rambunctious crew member who wants to just kill and murder and bring death to the arena. Oh my goodness, she's so badass. Everyone on their crew is so scary. Oh, we should take her to see Zagar Cool after the match.
So the issue is that we don't know that Talon is actually a gladiator of some sort or something.
Yeah, but we aren't going there to get Talon in the gladiator pits. We're bringing Dawn to kill people. You're right. That is out of character knowledge. And is there any way to resolve that? Fuck.
In the fact that winning in the arenas is probably a good way to get noticed by Zagar Cool.
Yes, that. Well, I mean, that was the end point of my plan to begin with. But
Yeah.
yes,
The other thing that we need to probably do is go ahead and ask, okay, what was the ways you're going to suggest that Celine Morn was going to tell us?
all right.
Which could be one of those things.
That depends. James could throw us a really easy bone here. Let's step back into character, I guess, while we're all looking at each other.
We're in hypothetical space where we know things, where we actually don't know things.
We all
Get
look at
back
each
in-
other, eyebrows raise and come back down at an alarming rate, and then we all turn to the zenith.
And go, What was your plan?
Okay, Matt Colville.
First, we get a goat.
What the fuck, dude? You gotta calm down with this goat mania.
Oh, you said fucking dagger and bone or whatever the fuck it's called, and I'm just like, okay, I'll make that joke until no one gets it anymore.
All right. Well, Morn pushes like Zathera forward. I have 3 potential options we could consider. The first is a Dark Eldar noble named Dirac Nir. He is a patron of the blood sports and is well connected with many of the higher echelons of Kul's order. He would be able to help build your notoriety within the Nexus and potentially get you into one of the more major events where Kul might be present. Second would be that there are other humans that operate within the Nexus. There is a group known as the Conservana Ring, a company which trades in alien artifacts and forbidden technology. They are led by a human named Sarissa Conservana. Spoon, give me a knowledge Navy at +10 roll, please, Spoon.
Sure.
Imperial Navy.
She's the greatest trader in this entire subsector.
She is skilled at integrating Monkai cultures with the Drukhari and may be able to find the right way to introduce you. Alternatively, there is other than the than Kul's Cabal, there is a witch cult which operates within the Nexus, the cult of the Withered Blade. Their leader, Anyala, she is not necessarily an ally of Selene, but she is definitely an enemy of Kul. If you were to approach her to potentially find a way to unite against Kul, she might be able to help you with a slightly more combative approach to getting into the ziggurat.
I have an extreme distaste for witches as it is right now. I don't think I could ever ally myself next to them.
Okay, so just by the way, so there's witch WITCH is in people that use psychic powers, and there's witch WYCH, which are Drukhari that are close combat specialists. So nothing to do with the warp. They're just like any other Drukhari. It's just Cabalites fight with a sort of a range doctrine, and witches fight with a melee doctrine. They're just 2 different types of
Which one are you
Dark
talking
Eldar.
about here, though?
So yeah.
Don't
So you
fall for it,
asking
James.
which?
No, stop. You're
Which
all
witch
the
is
worst.
You're talking
Okay.
about the one with the Y here, then.
Welcome back to Rogue Trader to fight Dr. Zeus.
I did get 3.5 degrees of success
Okay.
on that.
So you've heard of Sarissa Conservana before. She used to be a naval officer in the Imperial Navy, was a master of ordnance on a naval vessel, led a mutiny, overthrew the captain, and took the naval ship for piracy, and disappeared in the Expanse about 8 years ago.
I hate her then. She's awful. She's the worst.
Everyone we meet in this episode is awful. I was
Yeah, but
wrong.
I
This guy
specifically
isn't-
hate pirates.
I was gonna say this guy isn't our evil opposite crew, right? The evil opposite crew is when we meet the Drukhari, and 4 of them stand back to back, and we're just like, ugh, I fucking hate these guys.
Anytime that there's like a comparison scene, I always think of Shaun of the Dead. Like every single time. We walk past each other and we just like grunt or whatever at each other. Just like, yeah. Good scene. Good scene.
I'm gonna give Dawn a significant glance during the gladiator blood sports. Like, that sounds like your thing. Kind of be like,
I receive this glance, and the first thing I think of is like, I thought you respected me. and then Dawn will just feign like excitement. It's like, oh man, gladiatorial combat. That is so me.
are you not a specialist at melee? Think of all of the Xenos you could purge.
When it's on my terms.
They'll all be dead at the end of it, one way or another.
If some man in the gallantry wants to tell me whether or not I can slay a Xenos, yeah, that's not really my thing. But I'll do it if it's
Says I-
necessary.
I definitely
think
not
it-
doing. I learned my place. I'll stay in the back.
I think it
my
provides the most expeditious route.
What
Wait,
was
you
the
wanna
name
talk-
of this Dark Eldar noble?
Dirac near.
Well, we can certainly do probably about two things, get things rolling.
So Morn cuts in. I heard you mention Talon before. Talon Balewing is Cool's champion in the arena.
Of course he is.
What if there were more side quests?
I mean,
Gladiator Grease to me, it sounds like the chalk that gymnasts use to like hang onto a bar.
I'm pretty sure when they were saying Gladiator Grease, it was a reference to, you know, sometimes teenagers will start a new job, like at a mechanics place, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah,
elbow
head on
grease?
down to the Napa and go get, you know," and the guy at
Some
Napa will
headlight
be
fluid.
in on the joke and just be like, "Oh, just wait here 15 minutes while I go check the back for your, you know."
Mm-hmm.
Headlighter fluid.
Yeah, yeah. For me, it was at Outback Steakhouse. They were like, "Here, empty this barrel," but the barrel was connected to the sink, so you just stood there and had a hose going, you know, for like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Black and white striped paint, left-hand screwdriver, all the classics.
Ah, yes.
They
I'm pretty
actually
sure
make
that-
left-hand
yeah,
screwdrivers, though. That's
Chad
the
has
correct-
confirmed that was what they meant.
There's actually left-handed clocks. Like it goes counterclockwise than clockwise. It's weird.
All right. So just to confirm, Talon Balewing is the champion. I feel like there was a big opportunity there for someone to cut in and be like, "Oh, did you think we said Talon Balewing? Your High Gothic must not be good enough. You didn't conjugate that right. It's Teflon Balos. It's the new dish on board. You should try it." Then we'll have a whole Skinner episode where we make Teflon's Balos.
Aurora Borealis localized in your kitchen?
Can I see it?
See it? No.
We missed out an opportunity for that.
As an inquiry, is there obviously there's Imperials that are here. Is there any Imperial components that are here? Perhaps to repair a ship?
You could certainly find what you need to repair a ship here.
Yes, there'll probably be several pieces of ship available at rock bottom prices, sir. It fell off the back of the ship while
right.
they
Well,
were
we
raiding
currently
it.
have one ship that had
Yes.
some parts missing. So
We've already stripped the ship of all its crew. The rest is just garbage.
I mean, going to this place is going to be like a Jawa sand crawler. We're going to be like, they have a full set of Mandalorian battle armor here? Where did they get that from?
It's not even the right universe.
So the car will go, "You titty!"
The Beskar.
The best dog.
Hey, look, space is all connected. Okay, you got to go far enough in one
Right,
direction.
yeah. Otherwise, how could Isakars exist?
Please, God, no. Don't do this, James. I've done it before. You'll ruin the show.
Hey, that was a pretty good show.
Oh, okay. We have a plan.
indeed. First, we'll discuss get either one of us into the gladiator fights.
Everyone just looks at Don.
Pierre doesn't.
I'm not going to change my armor, by the way. I'm staying in my armor. I don't
fine.
feel like it's necessary.
People can unlock the leather armor skin later when they pay $19.95. I still only have about 2% chance to get it.
Loot boxes, sir.
Yeah.
Indeed, they're very great for
Get the
monetization.
4-star Dawn, you know.
Except we
Yeah.
prefer the term surprise mechanics.
I see.
Before
yes.
Nero left, he left a box in my room that says "Open during Christmas event." I'm not sure what that means.
Santa Dawn skin.
Santa gladiatorial arena skin.
My God,
Yeah.
I love the idea that her sword turns into a candy cane. It doesn't stop like ripping through people with ungodly power, but it still just
And then
looks like a bludgeoning candy cane.
Yeah, and one of my box changes to "Ho ho heretics."
Your voice lines.
I've observed that one of the Dark Eldar in the book has an ability. This is the leader of the witches, has an ability where unarmed attacks count as rending, not impact. I'm trying to work out how that actually works. You know, like how just, you know,
It's just sauce it in there really quick. He's like, yeah.
Punches your arm off by slicing it up.
Yeah.
The claws, maybe? I don't.
Well, it's down to the molecular level. Jesus Christ! Holy crap! My mouth.
Yeah. Sorry, her fingers fit between the molecules in your arm.
Yeah.
She's literally shaking his molecules apart.
Vibrations around my hand.
All right. So
Okay, the Flash.
James, Androchiron is going to prepare quarters for Zelina. This is her name?
Zathera.
Zathera. And he is planning to inoculate himself against his disgust for Dark Eldar by spending a lot of time with her.
Isn't it more appropriate to have like a little bit of Dark Eldar every morning with your cereal so that you can eventually get a immunity to it?
Immunity, yeah.
So I imagine, because what's happening is
Iocane powder.
Yeah, you got the
your discomfort and displeasure at being around her
I know.
is going to feed her power through pain.
I know.
So she's probably going to like you hanging around.
I know, James.
Yeah. Okay. No worries.
Listen, I was prepared for this before this episode ever began.
Is it like the same thing with like people who enjoy cringy material?
Yeah.
Is that what Dark Eldar are basically?
Yeah. They're
They just
basically an
enjoy-
evil version of Neoners. Yes.
They just enjoy feeling cringe. Is that like their whole thing?
They feed off of other people's cringe, yes.
Oh damn! Should have been a Dark Eldar. That would have been great.
No, it would not have.
All right. So Morn and Eggle will leave, just leaving Zathera on board. Now, by the way, when Morn leaves the room and Zathera is still there, the feeling of wrongness goes away.
Yeah, of course. I'll kill her later.
No worries.
I'll come back. That's post-epilogue Androchiron. No, he'll be dead. Shit. It sucks that James has promised to kill Androchiron.
I
That's
didn't
the
say
worst.
he died. I just said he's had an unfortunate something was unfortunate about his future.
Poor Androchiron.
He
That doesn't
becomes
mean
the
he's dead.
for Nero to come back. It's
So I turn to our new guests and I say, "All right, we're both women. We have to bond over something.
Jesus.
So what do
we
you
just failed
use
the
to kill
Bechdel
people?"
test.
Sorry, what was the last bit, Dave?
So what do you use to kill people with? That's normally how I bond with my female companions.
Okay,
It's true, actually.
that's true. I mean, she probably just has a Cabalite blade and a splinter rifle. So
She's like, I have this cool sword. I'm like, oh, cool. And I use this gun. Oh, okay.
she's not an expert at the blade the same way that a witch would be. Yeah, she's not a slouch, but by the same token, her main combat doctrine is ranged. Okay, so she has a mono-edged blade, mono-edged Cabalite blade.
And what is your opinion on our approach? Do you think going for the blood on the sands is an appropriate way to get what we need?
She turns to the camera and says, well, the Blazing Sands DLC did just come out for Battle Brothers in 2020. Let's go ahead, Jay.
It's got goats.
It doesn't.
I don't understand your interest in Cool's champion, but Dirac Near would certainly be able to get you an audience with Cool in time. It would not be instantaneous, though. He would have to build you up, so to speak, through.
What is there to build?
society.
I'm literally a living saint. As far as I'm concerned, is the highest echelon that a human being can reach.
You need a hype man. Sorry, Don, I'll get out of your conversation.
I obviously don't speak for Androchiron, but I have no idea what that means.
I'm as close to our god, the Lord Emperor, that a human being can possibly get to.
No,
Well,
I
we
feel like
killed-
I got
we-
pretty
we-
close.
We killed all our gods.
You
Okay,
personally
Klingon.
killed all the gods? That's quite impressive.
Our species, other than
I
our
was
god
gonna
of
say,
murder.
you seem to have missed one or two there.
Yeah.
Slanesh, who's the Harlequin one?
Okay, right. No, yeah, they only consider Keelan
Indeed.
Kane to be a
Oh,
god of
okay.
theirs.
Well,
Well, you're the closest we have to someone who understands the culture. Perhaps you can sell me better.
So being a saint, does that make you a better warrior? Does it make you a better tactician? What does it mean?
Yes.
Does being a knight make a man a better fighter?
wow. Just okay. I'm gonna lean over the table and just say, do you know what a greater daemon is?
Of course.
Sister Dawn has been at the slaying of two of them. She personally
or
felled
involved?
one.
I'm sure that these are the sort of stories that that Near could make good use of.
Indeed. I have compiled a list of her great deeds right here. In verses 21 through 37. They're in rhyming couplets in iambic pentameter.
I don't understand this language. Who looks at it?
I'll translate it for you. I happen to be a polyglot. I'm afraid that they will no longer rhyme or be in iambic pentameter in your language.
Just do what Harry Potter did and just say, try and make it so, translate it so that everyone says, I am Lord Voldemort in the name of the Tom Riddle. You know,
Can't you just translate it like in the American way? Just say it louder and slower.
Oh my god, Jake. Come on.
just change some of the words to say sus. You know? Topical.
I really do, though, begin compiling translations of my notes of my journeys with Sister Dawn,
Okay.
the living saint.
She will help you with your Eldari diction.
I'm sure that she'll help me conjugate.
I have to go fly the ship.
I love the idea that Dawn walks away from this and being like, this is probably the lowest point I've ever reached as far as I'm concerned. It's like having to explain to literally the scum of the universe why it is that I don't have to wait in a line to fight them
Yeah,
based on my merits as a living saint.
I've got a money in the bank briefcase. What are you talking about?
Guaranteed title shot. All right, so you've also been given directions on how to actually access the Nexus, where the entrance to it is.
We make sure to make a copy of that and then send it off, just in case Cowles dies, so that some future member of the Cowles lineage will be able to make it here. Vis-a-vis when the exact same thing happened to us earlier in the campaign, and we needed a way to get to that first planet, Regina 4.
So James is just building an entire universe around this particular plot line so that the next group that takes on this, campaign will hear stories, but oh, you uncovered the astral map that they left behind to get to this exact point.
The Wraithblade of Androchiron. Why is this here?
The IV drip that never ends.
What could it all mean?
Endless supply of Tim Tams in an IV drip. James knows what I'm talking about.
All right. So we
so you spend a few days flying away. So basically, when you reach that destination, it's like there is a hole torn in space. That's just like you have to approach it from the right angle to see it. But yeah, there is like a white tunnel of light that just opens up in space where the coordinates are.
Oh my god! All I could think about when you were describing that is I was like, yes, a rental home repair. Uh-huh. You have to look at it from the right angle to notice the damage.
Shall I take us in, Lord Commodore?
Absolutely.
All right. When you fire the ship in, so it opens up into a massive expanse of white. So it's like you can't see in some of the spaces looks like black as far as you can see. This is just white as far as you can't see stars. You can't see an edge of this space. It just looks like you're floating in white light. And there is effectively a planetoid that has had this spire type structure built onto one side of it as such. So it covers half the planetoid, and it's multiple vicious looking tall buildings with like a central spire ziggurat in the middle of the space. It's covered in blistering covered in weapon blisters, all of which sort of like light up and track your ship, but like sort of stand down once it's identified that you're not, either A, an invasion force, or B, a person which is ship which is banned. And there are dozens and dozens of Eldar ships, and also human ships, and probably some other race ships, sort of like in an orbit around this planetoid. It also has a moon, which appears to be the Galen sphere, but it's also been built up on as well. But the basis for the moon is the Galen sphere. Now your augurs pick up that you're actually in atmosphere, that what's outside you right now is breathable, and it's not escaping through the hole into space, but you are in effectively a livable environment.
Interesting.
Right. Well, this is happening, James. I want to have a conversation with Ivy.
Yes.
Okay. So I think it's a sit-down conversation somewhere at her workshop.
All right, she sits down with you.
Yep, and I'm just like, Ivy, the last time we spoke directly, I had indicated that I would be achieving a new title so that our numerology might bring us into more friendly terms. But I've come to realize that is impossible. I seem doomed, moving towards a fate unknown, and I just wanted you to be at peace with that.
But what about, are you at peace with that now that you've realized you're doomed? How do you feel?
Doomed.
Is there anything that would help?
No,
manage?
It's nice breathing on my own. I got to see the ocean for a few seconds. That was very nice. I'd never seen one before. I've spent a lot of my life learning way too much about people. And it's been nice since I've awoken to, learn to defeat the worst enemies that we have, humankind. That's been good. My life is one to give in service to the Imperium. So yes, I do feel a sense of doom, Recently, something just happened to me out of nowhere. I felt a doom hanging over me. So, it just keeps happening, actually. It happens quite a bit. Weird stuff. As I'm saying this, the camera pans down and I'm like petting my Gyrix.
She goes over to like a bookshelf and like sorts through a number of books, and then comes back and hands one. I'd like you to have this, Androchiron. It might help.
I appreciate that. What is this?
So according to this cover, it says, "So your numbers don't add up." Is the title of the book.
Incredible. Thank you so much. I will read it cover to cover. And we're about to make port. You should definitely not get off the ship. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
Jesus.
Thank you, Androchiron.
As
It's
I
been a
leave,
pleasure.
I'm going to whistle.
Oh, is that jizz I have?
Yeah, Dave, I'm blasting jizz all over this place.
So yeah,
What do the numbers mean?
So the book is basically like it's written for people who's are just numerologically in a bad spot. Like the implication is not that just like you two didn't add up. It's just like you have like all your numbers are wrong. And the book is basically saying, like, you can't fix this situation. You're doomed, but here's how you can make stuff better for everybody else so that their numbers add up later on. You know, it's like it's the most depressing self-help book you've ever read.
I was going to say, it sounds like the Friends theme song.
It's pretty much like, yeah, you're beyond help. So here's how to help others.
Really, though, that is Androchiron's life philosophy. He takes to it well.
Have you seen I saw a YouTube video, which was the Friends intro with just Ross. So it was all scenes like of Ross on his own, like dancing with nobody and that sort of stuff, you know. Like it came across very depressing. Like Ross is a really, you know, weird guy that this is what it's about. It's called Friendless. So anyway. You find somewhere to effectively berth the ship. You just find a space in space, and nobody, like no port authorities have reached out to you at this point in time. Presumably you would just take a shuttle across to a landing platform somewhere.
All right, I bring my Gyrix with me, and I have a name for it now. Its name is Ronald Swan. I talk to it constantly as well. I'm just like, come along, Ronald Swan. I'm like that annoying pet person.
Are you saying come to mommy, Ronald Swan?
No. I just say, come along, Ronald Swan. No, I don't treat the pet like it's, you know, like my child. It's a Gyrix. It definitely has no familiar... Forget coming from the same planet. We didn't even come from the same part of the galaxy.
All right. So you're all going ashore?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is there any sort of like air traffic control?
So there's not. Nobody's contacted you yet about this.
My God, libertarians. I knew I hated the Dark Eldar for some reason.
So like,
I love the idea that we come out and someone's double parked and we can't leave.
We just launched torpedoes. Our whole fleet just torpedoes.
God damn, we've been clamped.
Space clamped.
Give them the clamps. Oh my God. We're just jumping genres at this point.
Yeah. There's a giant yellow boot on the side of the ship.
So looking over at Zathira, yeah. Like, well, where should we land?
So there's five factions that basically control the Nexus right now, and each of them have their own landing bays. The expectation is that if you're not Drukhari, you would have come here on someone's invitation, and where you choose to land may start you down the path of who you'll be working with. So there's obviously the Cabal of the Splintered Talon, which is Cool's group. There is the Cult of the Withered Blade, the Witch Cult. There is the cult of the false dawn, which I believe are people that worship what do you call it? Chaos. Chaos.
Okay.
That's what.
Skip
okay.
through this. Where are we going to
All right.
find the closest transport to Dirac near?
Physically closest, then you would land here at the Sons of Gamora landing platform.
And this is also where Cool's people come?
No, Cool's people are the Cabal of the Splintered Talon.
What is
Well,
the
it's a good
most
thing I don't have to make this decision.
What is the most neutral place possible that does not involve chaos?
Mos Eisley Spaceport, of course.
Either the Sons of Gamora or the Consavana Ring.
I'm here to kill chaos.
Or we could sit down on the Reaver's Moon, which indicates the Wars of Galen Sphere. It's a sort of it's a disputed territory, so to speak, but then we'd have to take some form of transport across to the main planetoid.
Look, we have plenty of transport across. We've got tons of shuttles, gun cutters. How bad would it be for us to land at someone's platform without a previous introduction? Would it be seen as presumptuous, like we'll murder you and steal your ship, or
no? It's a play. It's a political thing. They'll want to know who you are and why you felt that you were to be aligned with them. It's not you haven't necessarily done the wrong thing. It's just it opens a lot of questioning.
who is Cool's rivals? And I don't mean enemies, because obviously we know who that is. Who is Cool's rival in the arena?
So there's a number of so Cool owns the arena, and therefore he owns the champion.
Yes,
but there's a lot of stable owners who own different groups of fighters that are trying to defeat. If they can defeat Cool's champion, they can take over control of the arena.
Yes. Who is the most likely prospect there?
I don't follow the blood sports well enough. This is a question you could definitely ask Near. He knows the blood arena very well.
So we have reached a catch-22. Can we vox, Mr. Near? Do you have voxing technology?
Yes, we have communications.
It's probably just like we've had communications technology while your people were still monkeys.
Do you guys consume food?
You put it in your mouth, you chew it with your mouth by moving your jaw down then up, down then up again.
Oh my god.
While your teeth mash it to bits.
Hondo is actually explaining this to his daughter on a daily basis.
Can't just push it into your mouth. You need to.
Hey, she
Flap
had
your
some
lippy jaw.
applesauce that she tried to inhale, so it's not. it's
got a
not
future
far
at
from the truth, to be
Jackass.
honest.
I'm looking forward to that. I will say.
What, Jackass?
No.
I'll get
My
ready for the
daughter
phase
consuming
where yours tries to grab everything and then yeet herself off to whatever surface you put her on top of.
Huh? Yeah, it's just exploring, adventure.
Yeah. It's just exploring off of stuff that's high up and land on hard surface. What were the two that weren't on the sphere that were kind of faction neutral?
So either the Consavana Ring, which is the human-led one, or the Sons of Gamora.
We'll go with the human one as, active comfort.
Okay.
So we find out that these humans are also very masochistic people.
They're humans who truck with Dark Eldar. There's no way they're going to be normal.
They're led by this ex-Navy officer that turned
pirate.
Yes, Sarissa, whatever her last name was.
Yeah, Consavana.
Consavana, yeah.
Now, I don't know if you know that name because of you're a fan or you absolutely despise her.
Absolutely despise her, sir.
Of
She's
course.
a mutinous pirate.
Of course.
But I have several of her posters.
Do you have the faces X'd out and say murder, kill?
This is sounding
You were the
surprisingly
chosen one.
Nero-ish.
Sorry, wrong.
It's more of
series.
a general dislike of traitors and pirates.
Fair enough. Just not rogue traders, correct?
Traitors with an I.
I see.
Not a Y.
Traitors, not traders. I see.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, let's go to that dock.
As we're landing at the dock, they're broadcasting a pic capture of the latest Dark Eldar craze, which is murder, fuck, kill, marry, right? But it's all very literal. It's not a hypothetical exercise.
Oh my god.
I had to ask because my kids are going. Has anyone come across a show called Is It Cake?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen.
My kids love it. My kids love it. Oh my god.
This
Like
person
on,
actually a cake.
What was it on the old Letterman late show? Will It Blend?
Yeah, with a blend. That's right. Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, that was a good
The blend
internet
tech
series.
blend
They
up.
were like, "Can you blend a cell phone?" I was like, "Obviously not." And they were like, "No, you can't."
I remember
Without
trying to
blending.
blend a crowbar. That didn't work either.
Ridiculous. All right.
All right, so you sit down there. You know, by the time your landing ramp is coming down, there is a Drakari who is sort of running up the platform towards you. He sort of doesn't have the same sort of level of spiked accoutrement as the others do. Like he's wearing more sort of human style clothes and has that sort of like beaten servant style look about him as well. Sorry, I didn't have any record of your arrival. Can I get your names, please?
I'm just gonna walk forward and just punch him in the face. Just
Okay.
Could at least waited till I gave him the name first.
He falls to the ground apologizing.
yeah. I'm gonna look for the port master. You know, the person who should actually be doing this. Someone important.
Yeah. So there's a human man nearby, sort of directing people like him, either Drakari or human, to the various landing platforms to sort things out.
I'm gonna, IV in one hand, my force cane in the other, tap my way towards him and say, "How dare you not send out your highest representatives for a rogue trader fleet? Where is your gumption? Where are men of caliber? Do you know who this is?"
He has a look and sort of like you can see him like trying to access the archives of his brain. Do I know who this is? Because clearly I should, but apparently I don't. So he's like, "Sorry, sir, but I don't recognize your colors. Have you ported in the Nexus before?"
He has not. There are many who call him the Thief of Chaos, the Scourger of the Seas, Destroyer of Regina 4, the Commodore of Terror. Do you perhaps not recognize Pierre Cowles, foremost among rogue traders?
I can't say I do. Sorry, sir. No,
Fuck!
Andrew kind of just psychically implants this knowledge in the guy's head.
I could do that. I could rewrite his memories, actually. It would be super obvious while I did it, though.
Yeah.
That's not to say any of that is not true, sir. I just don't. We don't get out a whole lot, but I do understand the importance of your lord, and I will contact the Conservana straight away and organize a meeting.
Here is a bottle of Renka with the compliments of the captain.
Oh,
And then
I've heard of Renka.
I spit between his feet in the process.
It's awfully hard to come by out here.
Somewhere Nero goes,
There's a business opportunity here.
there's a business opportunity that's not going to be capitalized on.
I think like Pierre just kind of like had his eyebrows raised and like hard
He's like, side quest? No. Side quest?
Do you guys perhaps use shirts?
We don't got a lot of shirts around here. Everything's made out of leather spikes.
And the skin of all the people that die in the gladiatorial arena.
Oh man.
Human skin is just not supple enough.
They know from experience. All right. Look, I'm trying to play up the, an aggrandizing herald, right? I mean, even Thanos had one of these guys. He had two of them, actually. They both died horribly.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man, right?
So yeah, he organizes for a some sort of skimmer type vehicle, like a hovercraft.
Yeah.
To take you to the Sarissa's office, also the Conservator's office.
I'm going to lean in towards Adrian and say, Master Thorne, are you going to be all right here?
I will be fine.
I've sensed some emotional distress from you. I'm a keen observer of humans.
Well, as you may know, was formerly of the Imperial Navy.
I had no idea. Loyal member.
As you know, I was in the Navy. I actually didn't.
This Consavarna woman is the antithesis of everything that I stand for and believe in.
We could do something to her.
Only after she served the purpose for which we have come here for. That is paramount.
You will need to work hard to hide your disdain. That is your aim. You have not done very well so far.
I think Adrian just reaches down and just puts his helmet on.
A wise move.
All right. This skimmer takes you over to like a nearby, clearly administrative building. It has a more human construction. It has more square edges than it has spikes. Although it's clearly been built by Dark Eldar labor, though, so it's still got some spikes, wrought into it. Yeah, you sort of the person that takes you off gives you something of a tour, showing you some of the various. There's like objects that have been traded, where they might have traded something that was very, very well known in the Expanse, and so like a replica of it's been made and put on display. 1 second, sorry.
Out of a hair straightener.
Sorry, my wife's just leaving for work.
We have those actually.
Yeah, so you've been given like a tour before you go and meet with Conservana. Why don't you guys each roll me?
I'll say awareness because we'll fail it.
Not inquiry. What's it called?
Scrutiny.
Scrutiny.
Okay.
That's great. My scrutiny is absolute dog shit. Negative 6.2 degrees of success. Wow, I'm just showing up by
I'll spend a fate point to reroll mine.
Ponder
I have a
immediately.
pretty good scrutiny.
Oh yes, not combat where I excel the most.
Okay, so everyone but Androchiron feels like it's a bit of a runaround. Like it's this you're being delayed a little bit,
Yeah.
Androchiron is deeply invested in the rustic, unique architecture of this location.
I think Pierre taps the guy who's like, if you could please stop wasting my time, I would like to get to your boss.
But Captain, up ahead is the legendary Stone of Legend.
It's not actually the legendary Stone of Legend.
The whole tour has been leading us towards... Okay.
And here, the forbidden box of mystery. What could be inside it? No one knows.
Now,
The thrice-locked chest of Nero the Blade!
now, I don't know if you've heard, but I have a tendency to blow off kneecaps and shoot people in the head.
It's true, he does.
I have heard
So
that.
if you could please hurry this along.
All right. He takes you to an office, and when you go inside, there is a woman. She looks to be in her probably early 50s, wearing a naval officer's uniform. Clearly, you can tell it's like a rank above what she ever actually attained as an actual, it's like a captain's uniform. And I think she would have been like, a junior officer sort of thing, or something. Probably a senior officer, but yeah, still. And it has like medals as well that don't actually exist and the like.
Sheriff Arpeo, then. Okay.
So this is like the bane of Adrian's existence.
Yeah, but cause she's not just wearing like the ribbon; she's wearing like the medals.
Mhm.
So
They're all crooked too because she doesn't know where they're supposed to go.
and there are other people in the room too. There are like some people walking around, like moving stuff between filing cabinets. It's as much an operational office as a meeting room.
I'll place a basket in front of her with 5 bottles of Renka and several tuna sandwiches and say, "You address Master Adrian Thorne, Commander, Imperial Navy, Sister Dawn Leteinia, Living Saint, and the Scourge of Chaos, Commodore Pierre Cowles, many titles excluded."
Sorry, is it Commodore or Admiral now? I see you seem to have 4 ships, so would that not make you an Admiral?
You are
Is she actually an ESO right now?
you are
I don't have the
unusually
force ship with me, right?
you
I don't
don't.
think so. I would say.
No.
You're unusually well informed.
Well, it's you arrived a little bit sooner than I expected, but I did make some inquiries while you were having the tour.
Perhaps in the future you will inform the dockmasters of the pedigree of those who arrive here with a similar alacrity.
I apologize. It's very rare that newcomers to the Nexus come who are not of the Drakari, or at least if they do come, they're usually introduced or brought here. The fact that you have found the Nexus or have been told what the Nexus is, I mean, obviously, I welcome you. I've heard, even before I did my research, I'd heard many great things about you, Mr. Cowles, sorry, Admiral Commodore Cowles. What would you prefer, Pierre?
That's fine. Yes.
All right,
Yeah. For
seriously.
now. It's like Pierre's trying to comprehend. It's like, well, technically, I'm just a Lord Captain, but I'm also a Lord Commodore. But I guess now I'm really actually Lord Admiral.
You're not an
Yeah.
admiral. Let's just be really clear here. A force ship does not make you an admiral. You command a task group, not a fleet.
Pretty much, yes.
I corresponded with your mother a few times some years ago. We were never able to arrange any business dealings, but so I want to be clear here. By the way, if you have a LinkedIn account and you're any sort of role like around product management or like, you'll get constant people from like third world countries emailing you saying, "Hi, I make special best lucky good product. You should buy my product. Contact me for more information." That's pretty much the correspondence she's referring to. Is that she like, you know, spammed your mother's inbox?
She cold called, like, and like left the voicemail.
Yeah.
My favorite one is when you ignore them for months, but they still continue to email you saying like, "Hey, I know you're busy. I
Just wanted
understand.
to
That's
follow
right, yeah.
up.
Yeah, any chance we can still have that conversation? Yeah.
You're just some number that they need to fill in order to get paid."
Yeah.
When I took over my mother's spot, I noticed there was a large amount of messages from, well, you. So I decided to come investigate as much as I could. And now
But
I'm here.
I've heard that that you unabashedly truck in all sorts of technologies, both those that would be considered well regarded and those that would be considered less well regarded in the halls of the Imperium.
I suppose that's true, yes.
So I figure, and you're here now, so I imagine that prescribed goods are not off the menu.
We'll see about what prescribed goods which we refer.
I mean, if you've just come to trade wine, I mean, your wine is well regarded here, and we'd happily buy a lot. I don't know whether the amount that will be bought though would justify the trip. I mean, surely you'd want to trade in things of greater value than just
Of course, I have
a
other
lovely drop.
plans.
Yeah.
I have other plans why I'm
I want to
in the
get in here.
Nexus.
I just watched Lord of the Rings, so I definitely want to Frodo Baggins and be like, "Our business is our own." Okay, Master Hobbits.
You know, I actually read recently that Frodo never actually interacts with Legolas in the movie.
That's correct.
Yeah, there's like 2. He says the one line.
He's just like, "and my bow," and then that's it, right? Like,
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he doesn't say anything else to Frodo the entire time. Oh,
Yeah, but Legolas is a racist dick, so He's
Right.
not even Aragorn's second in command. When Aragorn needs things done, he relies on Gimli, son of Gloin.
Dwarf's a badass. So.
Anyway,
So you've come to the Nexus, and I'm guessing you're here for business, not conquest, or otherwise we'd be having a different conversation. So how can I help facilitate your business dealings on the Nexus?
I'll let you know when I discover that. Right now, I'm just going to do some looking around, see what I see.
Do you have a first timers pamphlet? Explore exotic Sagar
Nexus.
Ghouls, Nexus of
And
Shadows.
and an extra golf cart if you're not using it. We forgot ours on the
It's
ship.
like, we don't have one. We only use goats here.
No, I can provide you with a skimmer.
Pierre turns to,
Overpowered.
and, do you know how to drive a skim? What's a skimmer? What?
It will come under pilot personal rather than drive ground.
Okay,
Yes, I can fly that, sir.
excellent. That works perfectly fine.
It's a hover golf cart.
Oh, a step up. Excellent. We're getting an issue with flat tires as of late.
Remember that game on Windows 98 where it's like a bumper car thing, but you had to go drive around and collect flags? It's that.
No.
No one remembers that? All right. Okay.
I remember games like that. I don't specifically associate with Windows 98, but yeah.
Solitaire. Minesweeper.
Are you looking to do business with any particular organizations here that we could facilitate introductions to?
I
gonna
think we're looking at getting into some gladiatorial action that I hear that's very hot here.
I'm going to look casually at Don and say, didn't you want to kill tons of Xenos? Just
Yes.
casually rip them apart.
Yes. That is the thing I wanted.
She lost a bet of gambling with me, and now she has to do this. So I can do more gambling to make money. It's
Very funny
she's
for
not
all
very
of us.
happy.
Idle hands make the devil's work.
I was the student, then I became the master, and she hasn't been happy since.
I noticed one of your ships is damaged. Would you like me to facilitate plating for repairs?
Yes, that was my other plans to negotiate would be some repairs.
I take it you want clean components. I mean, we have some. We've destroyed Reaver ships in the past as well. Chaos Reavers. We have. I see
Clean,
you don't want
yes.
pieces of Chaos Warband hull welded to the side of your ship.
Preferably nothing tainted. Yes.
You know, I mean,
I don't even know why
we operate a premium service here.
Yes.
We'll be checking the VID numbers on
Yeah.
the parts.
The Drakari are less discerning when it comes to how they repair
I
their
understand.
ships.
I believe I understand that part.
Were you intending to purchase slaves while here?
Not
She's
particularly.
just going
No.
through a checklist of fucking things
Yeah.
you can sell us or something. Like,
I recommend avoiding the slave trading quarter. There are certainly there are Drakari here that basically consider any non-Drakari as simply uncaptured slaves, and so if you were looking to buy slaves, I suggest you do it through an intermediary body like myself, rather than simply going to the
for a
auction
fee,
district.
of course.
Yeah.
Right?
No slaves needed
Obviously.
at the moment.
This woman is so British Empire.
Can I see your list that you're going down through these as far as services that you have?
Yeah,
And
I mean, she rails up a few more questionable services, like so. So her main exports here are slaves, drugs, probably they're the two big ones. Weapons,
Removing the summer
Yeah.
air from your ship and inserting the winter air.
That's it. I mean, they can, like your ship's obviously used consumables getting it. They can refill the food, for example, but I don't know if it's the sort of food.
Yeah, I don't know if we want
I don't know if I want the food that they have. Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Hero wouldn't
probably just
complain.
drugs, actually.
Goats.
They just serve you a
Laden
solid
with
block
drugs.
of cocaine.
They serve you. Do you have the term the munchies in the US? You know the munchies?
Yes,
yeah, so
we do.
they serve you drugs to give you the munchies, and they sell you like overpriced snack foods. Then
Yes. So it's like bars that give you peanuts. You get salt.
A cyberpunk future where drugs are extremely cheap, but munchies are like where they make most of their markups. Just like a Friday Night Magic at your local game store.
I'm going to stay back after everybody else leaves to have a little private conversation.
Said something about slaves. I'm in the market for several.
yes,
Are you a betting woman?
I have dabbled in the past.
I think it's fair to say that a new arrival like our crew introducing someone as unknown as Don Leteinia may result in sufficiently unfavorable odds. Would you not agree?
What do you mean? What do you mean for the fighting pits?
Indeed, she intends to go and make something of a name for herself. Privately, just between you and me, she recently slayed her second greater demon of chaos in personal combat.
She will need a patron.
I'll say nothing of that. I just think that a resident like yourself, who might be looking to pick up a very large sum of money very quickly, would do well keep this information close at hand and recall it when odds are made.
Well, thank you then. Well, I'd be interested to see if she's able to find a spot in the arena and how she fights.
All right, I want to give her a look that implies that, this all wasn't free. I expect a cut out of it at the end, but,
What does that look like?
There are still stories of the last time an Imperial Saint fought in the blood pits of Comora.
Yes, I don't know what that means, but I also don't care. Good day. I actually do care, though, so I make sure to check the informational brochure in low Gothic on my way out.
There's no mention of it there.
Fuck.
So your friend is a saint of the Imperium. Huh? Oh, that's the pamphlet I need. Give me that one.
All right, that's it. That's all I got.
All right.
Look, I'm just trying to make a quick buck on the side.
Well, I think so. As you guys walk off now into the streets of the Nexus to find your next thing, maybe this is a good time to leave it and
It is.
do our outros now.
How much XP do we get?
300.
Excellent.
We at 8,000 yet, or whatever the hell we need to get to the next level, level 8.
No idea.
We are currently at 2,800, something like that.
My read is 28,300.
Yeah, that's roughly what I've got. Yeah.
What do we need to reach the next tier?
Is it
Hang on.
30,000?
So
I don't know. I have 2,400 XP that I haven't spent.
Yeah, I'm the same.
30,000 to get to rank 8.
Okay, so we got a bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
Why stop with rank 8 when you can start
That's
with
the last
rank?
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, look,
Oh, man.
we managed to wrap up one storyline and get pretty far into the next one. We've actually landed and we're present on the landing area.
It doesn't, Spoon, don't you have a thing against Renka now or something?
Yeah, Rinka is Adrian does not like Rinka.
That's why I've been trying to make it into everything this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
It was one want to do a point where Pierre opens a bottle and just wafts it around and gets it too close to Adrian.
Can you smell those tannins wafting around? He obnoxiously puts it under everyone's nose.
Change of plan. Adrian Thorne is now going into the arena under the guise of rank of fueled aggression. So.
He's actually a Ranka juggler. He juggles Ranka bottles in the arena and then throws them at people. All right, speaking of Spoon, let's talk about Spoon for his outro.
Yeah, I am Big Spoon. You can find me over on Twitter at BigSpoon223 or on Arthur's Discord. I'm here on Saturday nights. I'll be in season 3 of Rogue Trader, or not Rogue Trader. I'm in that right now, but Solaris Knights, which is opening up soon. But I'm interested to see where our arena stuff gets us, and see what if anything we have to fight coming out of that. But
I have a kind of maybe an understanding. James will be like, okay, so instead of actually doing combat, we'll simplify it to a couple of roles, and I'll fail those couple of roles. Yeah, that'll be that. Yeah.
And to see how we're gonna rescue this Talon Balewing that is the guy that we have to beat to get into Cool's cigarette, and see what's going on with that. But yeah.
Speaking of Pierre Cowles, let's talk to Pierre Cowles.
I am Pierre Cowles. I am Ponder Upon the Mad. You can find me on YouTube or Twitch as Ponder the Mad, or Saturday nights here with Rogue Trader. I will be part of Solaris Knights Season 3 as the bandit, aka Bandito, but as a luchador.
Do you have your luchador? Well, never mind. I don't want to know.
I'll tell you. I unfortunately don't have a luchador mask.
You gotta come up with a luchador name though, right? Like
what is this, the bandit?
And when the helmet the bucket gets knocked off, there's another bucket underneath. There you go.
There's no way.
My luchador identity is my call sign.
No, his call sign is Bandito.
Yeah, which
his
is
luchador
bandit.
name
which is more of a luchador name than bandit. Yeah.
His luchador name is Bandit.
It's a play on the name.
Look,
okay.
I understand all of this, but I'm just explaining to you how he's chosen to do it. And I can appreciate the dryness of what he's chosen.
Yes.
This is why people hate Bandito.
Absolutely. I never said I was trying to make people like Bandito.
Oh man. I mean, in the universe, this is why people hate Bandito.
Yes, and I look forward to pissing off everybody I go against. It's going to be just like other players, and then it'd be like, I really hate this guy. Why do I hate this guy?
Yeah.
He said 5 words to me. I hate him. I'm really interested if I don't think it'll happen, because I think Seth will probably fight someone else other than him.
The only time Seth and Bandito will meet is in the finale.
Yeah.
God, that would be fucking wild, though. Be the culmination of 2 campaigns colliding.
I have a lot to get through because I have to get through Varen first, which I don't know.
And then Gleemo.
Yeah, I guess and Gleemo. I can predict what Gleemo is doing, but I don't know what Varen's going to do.
Yeah, that's because Gleemo is using a Highlander.
Yeah. And Varen uses all this weird extra tech that is.
Oh, you don't even know. He submitted 2 designs to me. I suffered an intense vomiting session afterwards.
I thought mine was probably rough enough on you.
I mean, Dave, two episodes ago with Varen, I almost got up and walked away in the middle of the match because this build was basically using the most obnoxious weapon possible.
flamethrower, right?
No, MRMs, medium range
Medium
missiles.
range missiles.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound.
I
obnoxious
know
to
it
me.
doesn't sound bad. It is fucking obnoxious.
Like, as in, like the amount of rolls you need to
Like,
do or something.
yeah, mechanically, it's pretty obnoxious.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like throwing a grenade into a grocery shop in Shadowrun.
Or trying to grapple in Pathfinder.
Hey, look, no, it's pretty easy. It's a 4-step process. Okay.
Oh my god.
Can I remind you, Arthur, that you're the person that did a mech that fired oil slicks and had flamers on it, though, as well. So.
Yeah, but that was so fucking sick, and it actually won. Oh my god, it was amazing, James. It was incredible. You can't say that was annoying. That was like a one-off hilarity. Let me ask you a question. Where else but on a Solaris show are you ever going to see that fielded on the battlefield? If I wanted to see MRMs, I would just go to a competitive FedCom Civil War era, and like half the mechs there would just be, oh yeah, it's just this weird version of the human that's all MRMs. I captured a Smoke Jaguar Kraken, and I refitted it with MRMs. All right, Bundle, what else do you have?
That's it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
my match is until next week, early in the morning, which will be interesting.
I want to say we're going to go to Dave, but Dave said he was going to watch the FGO Smasher Pass, and then he missed the fact that we did a whole Kinky Fridays bit during it.
Oh, I didn't know you released it.
Yes, it's been out for over a week.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We did a whole Kinky Fridays promotional as the first part of the
Oh,
video.
really?
Yeah,
Oh
you'd
my
know
God.
that if you
You did
watched it
indeed.
like you said you were going to do, but it's okay.
I had no idea you
I'm not
released
mad.
it.
I'm just disappointed. Please go ahead,
Honest.
owner of Kinky
don't watch-
Fridays.
Oh, hey, it's me, owner of Cranky Fridays. Go buy my games. They're good things. We got a Kickstarter coming out pretty soon. I'm very excited about it. It should hopefully do really well. There's a lot of work that went into it, and I don't know. I think it's the most narrative product I've released in a very long time. Like, we're going to release a demo for it that is an hour long. You know, like, there's a bunch of really interesting things in there. I don't know what else can I say. It's a mix of the old Nat Geo arcade match 3 games and narrative games and pornography. So I don't know. It could be right up your alley if any of those things strike your fancy. So yeah, it's really cool. I don't know what else to say. Thanks for the shout out, I guess, Arthur.
I mean, you shouldn't thank me until you see it. Listen, we had to edit part of the Kinky Fridays bit out. That's all I'll say.
Why'd you have to edit it out?
That's all I'll say.
And now I'm curious.
Good. I've done
Something
my job
about
well.
fluid dynamics, maybe? I don't know.
Grimdark James.
Hey, how we doing?
Yeah, we're doing your outro.
Good.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
I'm going to James. You can find me back here next week for the next episode of Rogue Trader. I might also, I don't know, are we gonna film Solasta, or are we gonna what are we gonna do?
I
You
don't know.
reckon?
What do you think, Spoon?
I'd be okay with that.
What do you
Yeah,
think,
next
James?
time we had was it Jim and the Soggy Maker that watched the Total War game?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah. Show for
Yeah.
2 people. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
my
okay,
whole
so-
life, basically. Yeah.
All
Let's
right,
do it.
so you know, even if we halve our viewership, that's still one person. So
What is it with you and dunking on my viewership tonight? You know, they came out in droves to hate shame you.
yeah, good. Their hate makes them strong. Give in to the hatred.
You're supposed to be playing a Jedi.
Grimdark James. Yeah.
It's more like Sith Dark James.
That's why it's called role playing, because you can be someone you're not.
Yeah, just like at the poker table, right, James?
Otherwise, yeah, I'll hang around after Discord from time to time, or check out my recent YouTube videos about painting Space Wolves, which will soon be ended, so I can start talking about painting Eldar, and not the dark kind, but the light kind.
That's pretty questionable to call them light.
Well, will have be painted with lighter colours.
Okay.
White and green is my palette for Baltan.
Yeah.
A pastel Eldar.
Oh, that's Harlequins. and you can't buy them right now because they're so broken that everybody's bought up all the stock from Games Workshop. There's none to buy.
Perfect.
Until the next codex comes out.
3D printer.
Ultramarines. Well,
Probably.
I'm me. You were here for this show that I was in. Who am I? If you don't know, I don't know what you're doing here. That's it.
Who are any of us, really?
Thanks,
Yeah,
Carniades.
as a student of Carniades. What is existence?
Raise your hand if you have a satellite in space right now.
My company got sold. I don't have that anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you've had at least one satellite in space.
Formerly.
Okay, that's it. Are we back next week? What do we think? Yeah? All right. Chat just said they were painting space wolves, but I read space whales, so I went to a different place.